Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials. Good morning, it's 5:30 on a misty Saturday the 20th of May. Just making my way down to the land, and as always, not quite sure what we're going to get done today, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land. It's a misty morning this morning, but to be fair, it is early. I really needed to get an early start today. I've been in and out on the field whenever I've had the spare chance before work in the morning, just to do the usual check on the chickens and, more importantly, to look at these bees. I have taken some clips during the week. I'll try and weave those into the video at the weekend. The saga of the bees, you just wouldn't believe. It's been absolutely crazy this week. It really has. It's been like a game, following them around the field as they've swarmed from one tree to another. They were originally in that tree, and then they disappeared across into this tree, and then finally they moved into, which tree was it? I'm losing track now. Because they've gone again. Oh, it was this one. It was this one, near the hive. So they've gone. But where have they gone? That's the burning question. I guess as it gets a little bit lighter, I might find out. Absolutely crazy week. I got myself psyched up to see a big swarm hanging from the tree this morning, and it isn't. So where has it gone? Anyway, let me get myself opened up. Looking at this damn grass as well. It needs cutting, but it's absolutely soaking wet. Again, we'll see what happens with the weather today and tomorrow, if I actually manage to get the chance to get the little red tractor out. So, who knows what's going to happen this weekend. But whatever it is, I'll keep you posted. Well, good morning and welcome to another weekend. It's a cold, grey, misty, damp morning, very wet underfoot. Surprising how much rain we've had over the last few weeks, and surprising how ridiculously busy I've been over the last few weeks as well. Spent an awful lot of time travelling with work. I've been popping down as and when I can, very early in the morning before I go out to work, just to try and keep on top of the normal food and water for the chickens. But over this last week, trying to keep track of what's going on with the bees, it's been absolutely ridiculous. Last weekend I thought I'd got the bees pretty much under control, and then all of a sudden, after a week of swarming, they started swarming again. So by way of introduction, I'll pop in some clips of the journey this week up until I arrived this morning, and you'll get a flavour of what I'm talking about. Well, Monday morning, what was going to be a quick trip in to sort the chickens out before work turned into a bit of a saga. As I walked across the field, I was looking in this tree, any signs of swarming, which there isn't, and just glancing around the hedgerows, nothing to be seen. Lovely morning, sun's just peeking up, but buried amongst the foliage in this tree, yep, a huge swarm. That is what you call a big swarm. So the question is, where's it come from? I'm in such a rush this morning. I don't know whether it's this hive, which over the weekend I did look and it was absolutely rammed, but there's still activity around the door. Could be that one, who knows, but there are bees floating in and out. I don't think it could be the nuke box because there's too many bees on that tree for what went into that box, and I can see activity around the door still. Or this one, I don't know. No, there's bees there as well. So I need to open up and have a look and see what's in what, but I'm on such a tight schedule. I don't know whether I'll get those scooped up or not. I really don't know. Well, it's 6 o'clock on Tuesday 16th. Come down to have a quick look and see what's happened with this swarm, and it's still there. I had expected it actually to disappear overnight because we did have some quite big rain, but it's not disappeared. It's actually getting bigger. That's probably the biggest swarm that I've had. There's a lot of bees in there. I did have a quick look yesterday at these hives and they all seemed to be active still. In fact, the little nuke box, they're building comb inside on the roof. So, I don't know. Anyway, I literally can't do anything. I've got some stuff to bring down from the car, but again, it's a flying visit before I start work. So, I'll get myself in, sort the chickens out, bring the stuff from the car, and that's all I'm going to be able to do. So, let's see what happens tomorrow, because tomorrow I am actually picking up a third hive first thing in the morning. I'm not going to be able to use it tomorrow because I'm travelling again. Every day this week I'm actually away for several hours. So maybe Thursday I might actually have somewhere to put that swarm if it's still there. So it's 5 o'clock on Thursday morning. The saga of the bees continues. I'm literally just in to sort the chickens out, see what's happened with this swarm, and then go to work. I'm travelling all day today. But as you can see, the swarm that was on this tree has now disappeared. So I'm just been hunting around the hedgerow to see if I can see any signs in the trees, and as I come to the hives, look at this. Now whether that's the same swarm or a different swarm, I honestly have no idea. But that is convenient if they'll stay like that for a while. I think they must have got fed up in that tree with the rain and decided to take advantage of the tree cover to give them a bit of shelter from it. I mean, that's a hive right there. If I can only successfully capture them. Right, anyway, let me get myself into the cabin, sort the chickens out. I'd love to have a look inside these, but I just don't have the time. I'm particularly interested in this box to see if they're still in there, because they were building comb on this roof on the inside. that hive's still active, even at this time of the morning, which, given the time of day and the fact it's been raining, that one looks... oh, there is a bee there. They're just waking up. This one's again quite active. I'm just wondering if that has actually come out of there, because I did say at the weekend that that was absolutely packed out. I don't know, all will be revealed I guess shortly. I keep doing these little clips for you. We're just going to have to wait until the weekend. Anyway, let me get the chickens sorted out, and I've got the hive. I said I was picking a hive up yesterday. I was. It's up there in the car, so I'll bring that in, and unfortunately that'll be me done. Anyway, they've driven me crazy this week. I did go out and get another hive during the week. It's actually in a box behind the camera on the floor. We've got 3 hives now, full hives, and then we've got that nuke box. Now I don't honestly know how that 3rd hive and the nuke box are going to turn out. Looking at them during the week, they seem to have taken. So it was really baffling to me when this additional swarm suddenly appeared, especially since it kept moving. So I've got a 4th hive to build, and I'll do that this morning. I'm praying that this mist lifts and we see some sunshine, because I really do need to get the tractor out and get some grass cut. It's getting really out of hand now. So between building the hive, watching out for a bit of sunshine, and taking a look at the bees as they are now, it's going to be a pretty busy day. Whether there'll be much in terms of video for you, I honestly don't know. I might take some clips as I'm building the new hive, but I mean, you've seen that before. Just scroll back through the videos. This is going to be the 4th hive I've built now. So we'll see what happens during the day. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. How's your planting coming along? Bit of a mixed bag with mine. I have got, and I can see them now from here, I have got some strawberries, quite a lot of strawberries actually, coming through. It looks like the ants have turned my lettuce bed into a drop-in or drive-through cafe for them. Loads of leaves been chewed off those. In the raised beds, all of the seeds that I planted are starting to come through, so that's good. Onions and garlic's not been touched this week, touch wood, by rabbits, so blocking off where they've been getting under the wire netting seems to have worked, though I'll not hold my breath. If they're nothing else, my rabbits are ingenious and seem to be able to miraculously find their way in to that raised bed area. Polytunnel, I'll give you a run round. Carrots got a little bit scorched this week. On, I think it was Wednesday, we had some massive sunshine and massive temperatures. Very brief, but I can see in the polytunnel where it's started to get a bit too hot and singe the leaves of the carrots. No such luck today. When I do want a bit of sunshine, there's none to be seen. Potatoes in the polytunnel, and a couple of those need banking up and then they'll be ready to go out. Peas doing okay actually, and tomatoes very, very, very slow. They are looking strong, but they're still small. So yeah, a bit of a mixed bag in terms of planting, but it is what it is. It is nature after all, and we are at the mercy of Mother Nature. How's your planting coming along? I know quite a few of you now have got started, so let me know in the comments section. Anyway, I'm going to get this coffee down me, sort out some tools, and then we'll tackle this beehive. It is quite fiddly actually. So for a good hour plus I'm going to be busy hammer and nails. I will guarantee you at least one of my fingers ends up black and blue because when you're doing the frames on the hives you are dealing with fiddly little panel pin type nails and the hammer. So I have no doubt there'll be a bit of swearing along the way. Anyway, whatever I am up to, I will try and take some clips and we'll make it up as we go along, as we normally do. I promised you a quick run round, so I thought I'd do it now before I set about building the hive. Garden room, strawberries putting on a massive spurt in growth. I've got actual strawberries coming all over the place in here, as I have with the blueberries. Lots of them coming through. Bit of a bonus surprise, cucumbers. Finally got some cucumbers. But look at all these strawberries. I think the ants are trying to take over this pot because there's a lot of fresh earth there. So I think the ants are trying to make a nest in there, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, look at these. Look at that. It won't be long before I'm eating them. And lettuce, something is definitely eating these, and it's ants, because I can see I've just literally watered these. But this lighter coloured earth is the sandy soil that they're dragging up from underneath the compost. Not really sure what I can do about that. I have put powder down, you can see it here, but doesn't seem to be doing much to the ants. I must have super ants like I've got super rabbits. I have walked the entire perimeter of the field today looking for that bee swarm. No sign of it anywhere. Potatoes in the whiskey barrels, pushing up against the netting. They're coming on really well. Not so well in this last one, but that was the last one I planted. I mean, they are coming through clearly, you can see. The potatoes that were in the polytunnel turning into a little forest alongside the polytunnel here. Garlic doing all right. I've just started pulling off the covers so I can get in and do a bit of weeding around the onions. That last bed that got trashed by the rabbits looks like very few of those seeds that I planted survived, and they're gradually being overtaken by thistles as well, so a bit of weeding to do there. The swede coming through well in this bed. That one got trashed. It did have beetroot in there, but it does look like they're coming through now. Not full rows, which isn't a surprise I guess, but at least they're coming through. Strawberries going crazy in this bed, so that's nice. And sweet corn coming through amongst the thistles. Something's been chewing that one. I can't see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 8 in there. So again, a bit of weeding to be done. The cherries are surviving. I think the birds have been in here, but I've still got cherries, and quite a few of them. So we'll see how we get on with those. The strawberry patch, beloved of the rabbits. Looking a bit thin, but they are there. I've got to get trimmed around these raised beds, but it's so wet under. I mean, look at my boots. Can you see how wet they are? It's absolutely crazy. Carrot's got a bit sunstroked this week. Wednesday there was a ridiculous spike in temperatures and I was away all day. But thankfully I do think I've caught them in time. And the smaller one's still coming through there, so that's good. There's 3 pots there waiting for some more seeds, but don't know if I'll get that done today. Peas coming on well. I've actually got flowers on this one, which is nice to see. Tomatoes, are these ever going to grow? They're just so small. They should be up here by now, and they're not. But I suppose at least they are coming. And then I've got a couple more pots of potatoes there. These end 2 need mounding up. And then there's a couple there that I planted last weekend. I have actually got some more potato sets in the cabin. I know I keep saying it, but it's time. There just isn't enough. A bloody pigeon there by the beehive, look. I ought to be getting out with the gun and taking a few of these out. Yeah, no clue where that swarm's gone. None at all. And that was a big old swarm. We'll see what the weather's like when I've finished assembling the beehive. I mean, I can't complain. I've got 3 that I'm pretty confident about being viable for the rest of the year, and I've got that nuke box. I did pop a couple of frames in there during the week because they're definitely productive, because they've been building a honeycomb frame off the roof of that box, so I know they are settled in there now. And once this new hive is built, I'll probably transfer them out of that box into that new hive, and then we'll see. Hopefully the swarming stopped and these will settle down into 4 productive hives, but we'll see. Anyway, that's a quick walk around. You can see it's still bloody misty. I'm not convinced that we're going to see the sun today, but I've got enough to keep me busy inside, so we'll just see how it progresses during the day. Well, I'm going to just launch myself into the hive build. I've got the various component parts scattered literally all around the cabin. There are so many pieces of wood everywhere you look. But it's a bit of therapy, so I'll start at the bottom with the floor and work my way up. This is really fiddly. Have you seen the size of the little panel pins that are used for these runners, the mesh floor? Bigger nails for the frame. But it's crazy. You go from a 2-inch nail in the frame these little tiny 1/4 inch nails for these runners. So we've got our runners in. There's a groove inside here as well, so what happens is there's a wire mesh floor which slots into the grooves. Got to watch your fingers on this, it's so bloody sharp. So that overlaps there on the bottom and overlaps there on the top. So we just hold that in place, believe it or not, with some drawing pins. Got to be a bit careful now as to how this goes. So we'll have one there and one there and one, where's that going? That's the little hatch where they come through the front, so I don't want to block that, so we'll have one there and one there. Yeah, that looks good. Flip it over. Couple along the bottom here. So there we go, there's the mesh which forms the actual bottom of the hive, and then underneath we've got these runners, and the purpose of the runners is so that you can put in this plastic sheet that just drops in there and provides a little tray suspended underneath the mesh. You can see that or not. And then any debris that comes through the mesh just gets captured in the bottom, and you can slide that out when you do your hive inspection to see if you've got any varroa mites or any other kind of pests in the hive, and if you have, then you can give it some treatment. So all that remains is to put on that little bar and we're good to go. Well, the floor's done, so now we're on to the brood box. There's some little metal runners that just sit inside of the brood box just to hold the frames in place and easy to move them around. But again, it's with these tiny 1/4 inch bloody pins. So fingers ready. I'm bound to get one black finger today. It's so fiddly, so fiddly. As usual, best laid plans about time. This is taking forever. So the side walls are on. Just got to get these locking bars into place. top and the bottom. Again, got to make sure make sure they go the right way round. And once these are all in, we can get them nailed together. The last thing you want is to get these in the wrong way around. Because trying to get them out again will be a nightmare. It's looking something like a brood box. Right, bag of nails, and we'll get these locked into place. So very similar to the brood box, get the inner walls in, and then get these locking bars in. Now, unlike the brood box, the way that you hang your frames on these supers is a little bit different. You'll have seen on the brood box I had like a metal runner that sat on the top of the actual lip of the box. This one's slightly different in that it has these metal castellation bars which just sit inside the lip of the box, but they protrude, so the frame sits inside these castellations to stop them moving. So we'll get this mounted onto there, again with those tiny pins, one on each end, and that'll be ready to go on top of the brood box. So I'm just busy building up the frames. I've got loads to do. I've got 32 frames to build, which is not a 2-minute job actually. You've got to strip out the wood, little strip comes out, sides go in, some easier than others. Bottom bars, waxy sheets. There's a little groove in the sides for this to slip down. You can do it with both bars on, but as you can see, sometimes the frames are a little bit tight, so I generally find it's easier to get the wax sheet in place and then put the second top bar in. Sometimes it's a little bit fiddly. This is the worst bit, is nailing the damn thing together. These are tiny nails, tiny nails. They're so tiny and fiddly. I keep catching my fingers and thumbs on these. Last couple. So I've got two nails in one there. That's it, that's another one done. Super. I'll just pop this with the ever-growing pile. That's the big brood ones for the bottom box. I've got 20 of the smaller super ones still to do, so wish me luck with that. Well, the sun's got out, look at that. Can you see it behind me or not? That's a bright old sun. I've got the hive built up, so the plan is to move the bees out of that transporter box. You can see the hives are absolutely packed out with activity, all of them, which is a really good sign, including this nuke box. So they all seem to be active. So what I'm going to do is really annoy the ones in that nuke box by taking them out and putting them into the new hive. So I'll just pop the camera on the tripod and I'll try and film some of it for you. Right, I'll shuffle this to one side and make space for the new hive. Already spin that pallet around, so this is going to annoy them. Right, we're ready to start moving them, so get ready for them to get really pissed off. Excuse my French. Can you actually see that? Yeah, you can. Okay, here we go. Look at that comb on there. That's unbelievable. I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. Looks like it's just honey. It's not brood. What to do with that? They're going to get annoyed now. Yeah, I don't think that's brood. So I'm going to get the bees out of this box into the hive. And I'll leave that so they can make their way back into that hive. Yeah, that looks just like it's honey. It doesn't look like brood. Alright, let's get a few more frames in there. They're not happy about this. But there's nothing I can do. do. Not sure what to do with that. I might just take that away. But we need to get the bees in somehow. Alright, this will wind them up even more now. Right. Let's put the excluder on. Super box. There we go. Right, I'll just give them a chance to settle down and me to settle down. Well, there we go, 4 hives. I'm going to have to be a bit careful because I'm in t-shirt now and I don't want to get stung, but they're all looking good. Lots of activity. They're obviously going crazy on that one where I've just teamed them in. The ones that are outside are trying to find the way in, but they should figure it out. As long as the ones inside don't decide that they want to get outside and I end up with another bloody swarm. And that end hive also busy. So, fingers crossed. Oh, I really would like to get some of this grass cut down, but I'm running out of day. That hive building took far longer than I thought it was going to. And it's absolutely scorching out here. Complete different from this morning. This morning was grey, squelchy underfoot, foggy. Look at all these buttercups. How nice is that? But now it's blazing sun above that tree there. Look at that. Absolutely blazing. So I'm just wondering, do I have an hour before I go home? I don't know. Well, I was going to get the little red tractor out, but it's been stood so long, the battery sounded like it was going to give up. So rather than completely kill it, I'm going to pull it out and I'll charge it overnight on a trickle charge, and then we'll see what the weather's like in the morning. Well, I'm afraid that's it for today. Just about worn myself out. It's absolutely roasting. Absolutely roasting. I've opened some vents on the polytunnel. Wasn't expecting to be doing that. You watch. I'll get up tomorrow and it'll be back to normal, chucking down with rain and freezing cold. I've got the battery for the little red tractor, so I'll get in the garage, dig out the charger. Look at that bees, they're absolutely everywhere. I'm not going over there because they're all out. All 4. Note the number, 4 hives. Fingers crossed that they all take. What a challenging year this year with bees. Unbelievable. I'm praying that that's it now for swarms. Do not want any more. And I'll do a bit of a lessons learned for myself on having spare capacity in case I get more swarms next year. Don't want to be caught out like that again. Mind you, having said that, I was ready with a hive, I just wasn't expecting more than one. Anyway, we live and learn. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, hope you're staying safe and well and enjoying your weekend. Do let us know what you're up to in the comments section, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, I welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. Just feel free to leave them in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.